Yeah, I want to first congratulate Jeff over in Chesapeake. Outstanding job. Uh, they really got a good effort this week. Really, really outstanding job over there by Coach Jeff and his squad. They really perform well. It's tough when your season comes to an end. We went into this week feeling pretty good. Obviously, as a 4 seed, 9-5 record, we felt like we had a good opportunity to move on, but we kind of ran into a buzzsaw this week, and it didn't go our way today. So, uh, hats off to Jeff and Chesapeake as they're moving on, and we will. With that, I'll take questions. Yeah, yeah. Yeah, injuries were a big part. I think we don't want to blame injuries, right? Next man up mentality is what we preach here in West Point. Um, but I'd be lying if I look at Drake London and Garrett Wilson and Alvin Kamara. Earlier this year with Bucky Irving, Marion Hampton missed time, CeeDee Lamb missed time. It was really a year where we kind of fought really hard just to week, to really battle and put ourselves in a position to have a chance every week. And so I'm really proud of the guys for that. It would have been easy to just kind of quit with all of the injuries that we face, but guys really fought hard. Yeah, this week, I got Trevor Lawrence is a freaking warrior. He's a freaking warrior. He tried to put the team on his back, and I think he had one of the greatest games of all time. 64 points. I don't know that you could ever score 64 points and still yet lose by 70. That's how good Jeff's team was this week. I mean, you look up and down his lineup, and it started Thursday night with Baker and Bijan for him against Bucky for me. And, Bucky came out and, unfortunately, Bucky didn't have his best effort. Only getting 8 points. Bijan had 29. I think Baker had 28. We're in a big hole right out of the gate. But, like I said, Trevor came out, and I debated between him and Darnold. And ultimately went with Trevor, thankfully. He came out, played outstanding, gave us a chance. That 1 o'clock window, he gave us a chance. And outstanding effort by him. He puts himself in a keeper status potentially. You look at a guy like you look at him and he's got to be in consideration in that keeper status. But he's maturing and playing well, and glad to have him on my team. Yeah, I mean, we'll go into this offseason. We're going to look at everything. We're going to look at everything. What can we do to get better? Where can we show improvement? But this year's not over. We're going to fight like heck for these next 2 weeks. We're going to enjoy this time. We're going to put a game plan together. We're going to put our best foot forward and really focus on winning that 5th place game against God's soldiers. He's got a great squad. We know Jahmyr Gibbs is going to show up. We remember what he did a couple of weeks ago. We were able to get by, but he came out and really had a great game. And he's got a great team. And so it won't be an easy task, but we're going to go in and we're going to do everything we can to build that momentum, get that 5th place, get that 5th pick. You don't know who's going to be there in the draft. We got 4 keepers. We have our 1st round pick this year, and that something we can't always say in West Point. But this year we do, and so we're thrilled. We're going to have that 1st round pick, so we want to pick as early as possible, right? And so that 5th place game is obviously big, and we're going to do everything we can enjoy these last couple of weeks with all these guys being together on the same team, and try to go out and get a win. Yeah, I mean, Jeff, you know, great job. Yeah, the four guys left all have a great chance, I think, to win the thing. Derek, native Yanks, probably been the best team this year. But they score the most points consistently, average over 200 a game. They have a great squad over there, but they did lose Mahomes. We know how important quarterback play is, and Jeff's got Stafford and Baker, and Stafford's playing at MVP level, and Baker can always go out and get you 2 or 3 touchdowns. And his guys are all back in the receivers. So, yeah, I see that game. I see that being a really tough game. And then on the other side, you've got Chris and Aaron, and you look at what dishonorably discharged has done this week. I mean, anytime you got Josh Allen, you got a shot, right? And so he's going to go into that game. I'm sure he'll feel real good about his chances. Yeah. The regular season, we had a good regular season. I think 9-5 for this group. We really fought hard to get there. Like I said, a lot of injuries, a lot of perseverance. We won a lot of the games we should have won, I think, and then we pulled a couple of upsets here and there, won some close games, lost some close games. A lot of Monday night sweats this week or this year. Had a lot of Monday night sweats. But this is a year I'll certainly look back on fondly. I think right now it stings, but it's one of those things that you try to learn what you can and take from this season what you can, and we're gonna continue to scratch, fight, and claw, and like I said, we're going to do everything we can over these next 2 weeks to try to finish in that 5th place. And the goal was always championships in West Point, and so this year is a failure. We've got 4, and I'd be lying if I didn't say I thought we had a chance to get 5 this year. But we didn't, and so we can sit and think about that for a really long time, or we can just put nose to the grindstone and study film and watch tape and read up on players in the draft and try to project a little bit better going into next year. But our fans deserve a 5th title. I think the city deserves a 5th title, and I'd certainly love to bring that home here to West Point. No other questions? All right. Thanks, guys. I appreciate. Hey, look, I appreciate you've been real fair with me all year. Look forward to talking to you after that 5th place game.